Hello everyone, good afternoon. Hi Varun Ranganathan, good afternoon. Good afternoon to all of you. Welcome to BYJU'S exam prep and welcome to this session again in which we'll be talking about quantitative ability section, that how do we prepare for it in the remaining 90 days that we have. So before I start, let me just have a confirmation from your side. Is everything okay? I'm good, Varun. How are you? Others, can you please confirm, is everything fine? Am I audible? Am I visible to all of you? Is everything okay? All of you can hear me? All of you can see me? After that, we'll start talking about it. So now the CAT notification is out, and I'm pretty sure that many of you would have applied to the exam already, right? And the last date to apply, of course, is quite close now. It is in September. So, at this time when this notification is out, and when you see that the other notifications are also pouring in, so we had the notification of Narsi Monji test, we had this notification of SNAP, we had the notification of IFT. So when these notifications are out, suddenly you start feeling gearing up now that okay, this is the time probably we have to be in the maximum possible gear of our preparation. So at this time you also start feeling that now probably I should start studying seriously, the way we have been doing in our school and college time as well. मेरे ख्याल से वहां भी हम लोग सभी यही करते थे. So when the date sheet is announced, right? I hope you all remember that. So I always had butterflies in my stomach at that time. The day date sheet is given. हमेशा ऐसा लगता था कि डेट शीट आ गई, इसका मतलब ये कि कुछ गड़बड़ होने वाला है. So similarly, now the date sheet is out. So now we start feeling the heat. Now we start feeling that okay, now this is the time that we have to start preparing at our best, because only 3 months are left. So today I'm here to talk about quantitative ability section. I think we keep taking some other sessions as well. There must be some session we'll be talking about the overall strategy, that how do you prepare the other things as well. In this session, I would only be talking about quantitative ability, that what is to be done, how it is to be done in the remaining 90 days. And I'm not going to give you a very day-wise or week-wise strategy. It would be just like a monthly thing that you have to do, what exactly is to be done. So as I see Sahil and Rahul are saying, sir, speak in Hindi, Sahil and Rahul. So let me just tell you one thing, that CAT is an exam in English. So the problem is when we talk about Maharashtra CET exam, right? That too is in English, but we have lot many people over there who understands Hindi, rather almost all the people. So शायद आप उसी की वजह से कह रहे होंगे that when I take sessions over there, I generally speak in Hindi. But when we talk about CAT, so we have a large population who does not understand Hindi at all. But English is something that is understood by each and everyone. So, but generally we try to keep the medium of instruction as English only. Not only here, even if in our classes, right? So, हालांकि मैं भी इस फेवर में हूँ कि कहीं पे शायद हमारे पास एक हिंदी स्पीकिंग बैच भी होना चाहिए. उससे फायदा ये होता है, आई मीन वी आर एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड थिंग्स बेटर in the language which we talk to, which we talk in. तो जैसे हम लोग जनरली आपस में बात करते हैं तो हिंदी में करते हैं, घर में भी हिंदी में बात होती है, तो शायद हिंदी में ज्यादा बेहतर समझ आता है. सो आई अंडरस्टैंड दैट. बट यस, एज फार एज कैट एग्जाम इज कंसर्न, it's not a bilingual exam, so we have to speak in English, right, in this. Okay, so I hope everything is okay. A very good afternoon to all the newcomers as well, all the people who have just joined us. So let's start talking about it now without any further delay. As I always do in each and every of the classes, that when you start talking about a particular subject, first of all, my first idea is that we should be having a complete knowledge about what all do appear in the exam, what kind of questions do appear in the exam, what is the score that a person should be targeting, and something like this. Okay, so I see there is a question from Varun. I faced server loss every 5 minutes in Maharashtra CT exam center. It made me feel distracted. Does it happen in some exams? No, Varun, it does not happen in CAT generally. I have never seen that happening in CAT. But yes, it is a common complaint from many of the students that in Maharashtra CT exam that has happened, right? So, I mean, of course, you can't do anything about it. Is it possible to get 99 percentile in 90 days? Sri Kuberan, I would say it is possible, but it depends upon a lot of factors, right? first of all, at which position you are right now, how much hard work you can put in. So there are lot many things. So it is just like as I gave an example yesterday as well. If you ask me, is it possible to reach Delhi within 1 hour? Okay, so you would ask that person from where. First of all, where are you standing right now? It depends upon that. Secondly, how are you traveling? Are you going by car? Are you going by bike? Are you going by feet? Or basically आप कैसे travel कर रहे हैं? So it depends upon a lot many things. So there cannot be a generic answer to this question that yes, it is possible or not. But yes, assuming everything as a positive, right? For an above average guy who is quite studious as well, I would say yes, it is definitely possible to get 99 percentile even if you start preparing now. Any new batch starting course for CAT 2022? Yes, Ria, I mean keep doing that. The last batch for 2022 we have recently started. I think I took first class yesterday only. So yes, we are having the last batch over here. CT results would be somewhere around in September, Ninad. Okay, so I hope Ria, your question is answered, and I hope that there are no more questions. Even if they are, keep pouring your questions. I would be happy to answer all of those. But let's start with our today's session now. Okay, the first thing, how has QA been in the last 5 years? Though many of you probably would be already knowing about it, that what kind of about how what is the number of questions that have been there in the QA section in the last few years. But yes, when you look at your screen now, here I am giving you a comparison of 2021, 20, 19, 18 and 17. But 2021 and 20 are probably the important areas for us. We should be more focused upon these two because these three exams were of 3 hours and CAT has already told us that this year the exam is going to be 2 hours. So of course the pattern has to be either this one or this one, right? Most probably we are saying that the pattern would be this one. The reason is when CAT reduced to 2 hour in 2020, it was because of COVID, and somehow it took time for them to understand that how many questions should we give in a 2 hour exam. So there were 26 questions in the QA section, there were 24 questions in LRDI, 26 in verbal ability, but next year they reduced the number of questions, specifically telling that because the time is less, so probably we had given more questions last year, so we are decreasing the number of questions. So the CAT 2021 was well thought of. There were 22 questions in quantitative ability, 24 in verbal ability, and 20 in LRDI. So therefore, you can say that most probably CAT 2022 is going to be exactly of the same pattern as 2021. I repeat, most probably. Of course, nothing can be done by surety because it has not been declared by the CAT authorities yet. But most probably you can say there would be 22 questions. 22 questions are there which are to be completed in 40 minutes. That is the first thing. But here, as I always speak to my students and I always keep telling, I would tell you as well, when it says there are 22 questions which are to be completed in 40 minutes, many of you would have done this calculation in your mind. 40 divided by 22 is approximately 1.8, which means we have approximately 1.8 minutes for each question. Is that right? I mean, this must have come to your mind at this time. 1.8 minutes means that means approximately you can say 108 seconds or 110 seconds. So 108 seconds we have for one particular question in QA. That seems a bit less. Isn't that correct? Right? It looks like, okay, only 108 seconds for a question and we are talking about CAT here. So is it actually doable that we just spend 108 seconds on every question and we are able to do that? First thing first, this is wrong. It's a misconception. Rather, I would say it's a miscalculation. When you say that 1.8 minutes are there for each question, the basic assumption that you are going with is that each one of those 22 questions is to be done. So first of all, that is wrong. You do not have to do all of 22 questions, right? Do not assume that I am saying that if you do all 22 questions, then there would be something wrong, right? The point is that if I am looking to get admission into a good B school, so even if I talk about the top B school among all of them, let's say I'm talking about IIM Ahmedabad. Even to go to IIM Ahmedabad, you don't have to do 22 questions. I think 13 to 14 questions would be enough to go, go into IIM as well. So the first misconception in your mind is कि हमें इतना ही time मिलता है question का, so that's wrong. Second misconception, 108 seconds for each question, we always feel that is pretty less, so there that's an average time. There are some questions in CAT which can be done within 25-30 seconds. You would probably say, sir, क्या बात कर रहे हो, ऐसा थोड़ी होता है. So let me just give you one of the questions from last year CAT. The question was, 45 liters of a mixture is there, from which 9 liter is taken out and replaced with water. The process is done once again. What is the ratio of milk and water after these two processes? Any one of you who is preparing for CAT probably can surely tell me that yes sir, that is probably a question which is pure basic question. This question would not take 25-30 seconds, right? Another question again from CAT. A can do a job in 20 days. B can do a job in 40 days. If A and B work together, in how many days they can complete half of the job? Is this question going to take more than 30 seconds? Of course not. Anyone who is preparing for CAT or he's taking a coaching, so they must be knowing that these are the questions which are at an ultra basic level. And therefore only, I tell all my students, before you start preparing for any of these sections, just write an actual paper of CAT. Just download it from internet. आज ही जाइए इंटरनेट पे, जस्ट टाइप कैट 2021 एक्चुअल पेपर डाउनलोड, वहां से पेपर निकालिए, ट्राई टू सॉल्व द क्यूए सेक्शन ऑफ इट, right? You might put some time limit, you might not, that's completely up to you. You will get an idea that some of the questions are so easy that you can answer those questions even today without any preparation. If you have not prepared, still you can answer many of those questions. Somehow we have it in our mind, and normally it is because of our friends or seniors or relatives. They keep telling us कि CAT में तो बहुत difficult questions आते हैं. CAT has two difficult questions, but that's wrong, guys. CAT has many of the questions which are extremely easy. Yes, Anshuman, it is the actual question that I'm talking about. Rather, जो दूसरा क्वेश्चन था ना, A can do a job in 20 days, B in 40 days, तो ये तो मैं एक्चुअल एग्जाम में गलत भी करके आया, मुझे इसलिए भी याद है. एक्चुअली मुझे लगा कुछ ज्यादा ही आसान है. A can do in 20 days, B in 40 days, मिलके कितने दिन में करेंगे? I did not read. It was saying that in how many days they can do half of the job. तो मैंने डबल करके लगा गया, नॉन MCQ था. So even that has happened, right? So therefore, I would always want all of you to do at least one actual paper of CAT before starting your preparation for it, so that you get an idea what is to be done, where are you, where do you have to go. वो सब idea तो मिले ना, then we would be able to prepare better for it, right? That's the first thing that I wanted to talk to all of you. So here I have talked about the number of questions. In my opinion, this is going to be the scenario this year. Now the next thing, then how many questions? These are some of the percentiles, right? Equivalent scores for 2021, 20, 19, 18 and 17. Of course, probably as I said, we are more concerned about 2021 and 2020. We would not be looking at the figures below that. So I just put up the table because I have made this table for various sessions. So sometimes I have to use those other figures as well. But now because we know it is going to be 2-hour exam, so therefore I am talking about 2021 and 2020 only. In 2021, we had a total of 22 questions. That means a total of 66 marks. In 2020, we had 26 questions, which means 78 marks. So these are the scores out of 66 and these are the scores out of 78. Okay, out of 66 and out of 78. So I'm starting from the bottom. And why am I starting from the bottom? I would tell you that as well. A score of 12 can give you an 85 percentile. A score of 12 means 4 questions. So again, of course, you can divide it by 3 and you can check it by yourself. But from 85 to 90 percentile, you can reach by doing 2 more questions correct. Just look at or try to visualize this figure. 85 percentile means 85% of the students could not do even 4 questions. And when you do 8 questions, you get a percentile of 95. That means next 10% of the students can do 4 more questions. So you do first 4 questions, you are above 85% of the Janta. You do next 4 questions, you are only above 10% of the Janta. Right? 85 से 95 तक ही पहुंचे आप. And if you do 12 questions correct, you would reach somewhere around 36. 40 is at 99.5 percentile. That means 13 questions. So uske baad, just to go from 95 to 99.5, you have to do a total of 5 extra questions. So the real fight starts above 85 percentile. Actually speaking, if you are getting below 85 percentile, probably you are not giving it a thought. Probably you are making some blunder in your exam. How can you not even do 4 questions in your exam? I see it from Harshad. Harshad कह रहे हैं, I got 7 questions correct in QA without preparation in all India mock test. अब अगर आप 7 questions सही कर रहे हैं ना हर्षद, so in CAT exam, that is going to fetch you somewhere around 90 to 93 percentile. Of course, I am assuming कि आपका कोई भी question गलत नहीं है, 7 correct है और गलत कुछ नहीं कर रहे हैं, तो ऐसे केस में that is the case. Okay, just a second, कुछ घुस गया आंख में मेरे. हाँ जी. सो 4 क्वेश्चंस पे 85 और मोर ओवर ये 85 इसलिए भी इंपॉर्टेंट है. दिस 85 परसेंटाइल इज द सेक्शनल कट ऑफ. इट इज द सेक्शनल कट ऑफ फॉर ईच एंड एवरी IIM. Can you believe it? Right? Rather, for many of them, it is below 85 as well. There is no IIM which has a sectional cutoff of more than 85 percentile. मतलब मेरे कहने का ये है, if you would have done 4 questions correct in CAT 2021 in 40 minutes, you would have been eligible for IIM Ahmedabad as well. Forget about Bangalore, Calcutta, Lucknow, Indore, Kozhikode, उन सब के लिए तो हो ही हो. आप हर कॉलेज के लिए एलिजिबल हो if you do 4 questions correct in your quant section. Of course, it does not mean कि 4 question करने पे यहाँ आपको कॉल ही आ जाएगा, but you are eligible. If you are having below 85 percentile, probably you would not be eligible, whatever your maximum score is, whatever your 10th and 12th scores are. But जब आप sectional 85 से ऊपर ले आते हो, that means you are clear for all the IIMs. So this is how important it is. And after that, when I see 2 more questions can take you to 90, 2 more questions can take you to 95 percentile. So I'm saying a good percentile in QA section would be considered at 95 percentile, which is at 8 questions in 40 minutes. एक्चुअली देखा जाए तो आपको एक क्वेश्चन के 5 मिनट्स मिलते हैं. इन 40 मिनट्स यू हैव टू डू 8 क्वेश्चंस, व्हिच मींस 5 मिनट्स पर क्वेश्चन. अगर आप 5 मिनट्स पर क्वेश्चन यूज कर रहे हैं, दैट मींस you are going towards 95 percentile. You are going towards 95 percentile. Are you getting my point now? So now probably things might feel a little easy that okay, 5 minutes for per question, I think we can do. And especially the questions that I just talked about, one of the questions about replacement, one of the questions about time and work. So probably that makes sense. Yes, that can be done. Okay, that looks easy. And I am not giving you any figures just to I mean boost your morale. So these are the actual figures at which scores you had which percentiles. These are the actual figures that I'm giving. Okay, so that was the picture about score versus percentile thing. If you have understood this, so please let me know through the chat box. Please do press the like button as well so that I get to know you guys are getting my point. Now I come to the third point of it, that is how many questions come from each area. Okay, we have understood how many questions can appear in QA section. Okay, we have understood how many questions should we target, right? At what percentile, and what percentile should you target? Of course, that is completely depends from person to person. One person probably targets only 85 percentile because currently he is getting 50-60 percentile in his box. One person might target 95 percentile because he is currently getting 70-75 percentile in his box. A person can target more than 99 as well if he's in, let's say, in his 70s or 80s. So that's completely dependent from person to person कि आपको क्या अच्छा लगता है. सर रीजनिंग और बीआरसी में स्कोर नहीं आता है तो वरुण, सो वी विल बी हैविंग अदर सेशंस एज वेल. जैसे हम लोग आज क्वांट का सेशन कर रहे हैं, विल बी हैविंग सेशंस ऑन बीआरसी, on DI as well. I'm sure you would be we would be talking about some tricks over there as well. क्वांट का परसेंटेज अच्छा रहता है तो कंसीडर हो जाता है ना? नहीं नहीं वरुण, देखिए इन मोस्ट ऑफ द गुड कॉलेजेस, इफ यू टॉक अबाउट द एली कॉलेजेस, दे ऑल हैव अ सेक्शनल कट ऑफ. तो वो सेक्शनल तो आपको क्लियर करनी होती है, उसके बाद दी ओवरऑल स्कोर मैटर्स. दैट इज द ओनली थिंग. ओके, now this is not something which is new to you. Every one of you would be knowing about this, that in arithmetic we have maximum number of questions in our CAT exam. ये मेरे ख्याल से आप सब लोगों को आइडिया होगा इसके बारे में. Rather, why CAT only? You talk about any other exam. Yesterday I appeared for Maharashtra CET exam and I saw there were 30 questions from arithmetic alone out of a total 48 questions in quantitative ability section. 30 questions, right? और उसके अलावा बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन जो थे वो थे हमारे पास या तो नंबर सिस्टम के या पीएनसी के, जीरो ऑन एल्जेब्रा, जीरो ऑन ज्योमेट्री. बट इन कैट this picture has almost been the same throughout all the years. अब महाराष्ट्र सीईटी में तो दूसरे स्लॉट्स में बहुत ज्यादा चेंज भी आया. किसी में सडनली नंबर्स पे 20 क्वेश्चंस आ गए, किसी में नंबर्स पे जीरो भी आ गए. दैट डज नॉट हैपन इन कैट. इफ यू जस्ट लुक एट दिस फिगर, in the last 5 years or even the years before that, the picture has almost been the same. Arithmetic has been on the highest side, followed by algebra, then geometry, then number system, and then modern mathematics. Hardly one or two slots might be there जिसके अंदर कभी ऐसा हुआ हो कि नंबर्स के क्वेश्चन ज्योमेट्री से थोड़े ज्यादा आ गए. दैट्स अ पॉसिबिलिटी. Otherwise, almost all the years the picture has been the same. That is, highest number of questions from arithmetic, then algebra, then geometry, then numbers. So I think by 99.9% surety I can say this year as well you will find maximum number of questions from arithmetic, followed by algebra, then geometry, then numbers, then modern mathematics. So therefore, of course, arithmetic and algebra are the most important areas for us. If you look at this first column, right, यहाँ अगर आप देखो, there were a total of 22 questions. I told you, out of 22 questions we had 9 to 10 from arithmetic. Even if I do only 9 to 10 questions, where does it take you? It takes you somewhere around between 95 and 99 percentile just by doing arithmetic. I am not saying you should target that. I am not saying you strategize that ways कि मैं तो सिर्फ अर्थमेटिक ही पढ़ूंगा और वहां जाके अर्थमेटिक के ही क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करूंगा. But I'm just telling you that this is the weightage of arithmetic, that arithmetic alone can take you to 97-98 percentile if I do all questions correct from arithmetic. Along with algebra, this can do wonders for me if I have very strong arithmetic and algebra, right? So though it is not advisable, but still I am talking about a student who is pretty good at arithmetic, very good at algebra, but very weak at geometry, numbers, and modern mathematics. That guy can score more than 99 percentile easily if I assume you are very good at arithmetic and algebra. So just by doing probably 40% of the complete syllabus, you can have 99 percentile in CAT. That's a possibility. But I repeat, do not make it a strategy. Do not assume that you have to do this, because there is always a chance that something might change in the exam. Who knows, this year suddenly we have 10 questions from number system and 2 from arithmetic. What then? Who knows, if we have no questions from algebra suddenly. So the areas in which you are already good, right? So of course, improve those. But it does not mean just work on those and you do not work on the other things. That would not be correct in my opinion. How to fill the form of CAT? Go to the website iamcat.ac.in, the page, and you will find it over there. Okay. Yes, I see that 43 people are watching and 20 likes are there. Am I teaching that bad? I think I am giving you some good information, so at least the number of likes should be equal to the number of people watching, if not more. Okay, because that is the only way through which we also get motivated. Of course, we can just read your chats and we keep speaking about it, but when we look at the likes, then only we get to know that okay, people are happy about us and they are actually listening to us. Now comes the important point over here. A roadmap of, something according to me, a motivation, I would say. When I talk about marks in CAT 2021, rather अगर आप marks को अगर ध्यान से देखोगे, a 75 percentile was there at approximately 6 to 7 marks, which means approximately 2 to 3 questions, right? A person would have done 2 to 3 questions, he would have got 75 percentile. 85 percentile at 12 to 13 marks, which means approximately 4 to 5 questions, and 95 percentile was at 24 to 25 marks, which means approximately 8 to 9 questions. What does that mean? What do I want to tell you by this? क्या समझाना चाह रहा हूं मैं आपको? The simple point is at whichever percentile you are right now, in 90 days, you can definitely move from a percentile like 75 to 95 very easily. You just have to do 6 more questions correct, and that can easily be done. एक फैक्ट में जो पहले भी कई बार सेशंस में बताता रहा हूं, फिर आपको बता रहा हूं, ठीक है? पहली बात तो ये, आई हैव अपीयर्ड फॉर कैट 20 टाइम्स, एंड ये मैं बार बार इसलिए बताता हूं बिकॉज व्हेन आई से समथिंग that is authentic, because I myself have done that. So when I have appeared for CAT, I have seen in all these years, with surety I can say, if you do all easy questions of your section, right? All easy questions of your section, I repeat, only easy questions. I'm not even talking about the moderate questions. If you do all easy questions of your section, you would definitely score 90 plus percentile, and I can guarantee this. I can guarantee this. In all of these years, I have already seen this, और वो देख के ही मैं आपको बता रहा हूं. If you do all easy questions of your section, you would definitely go through 90 percentile in your section. That is a guarantee that I can give you. अगर यहाँ आपको दिख रहा है ना 85 percentile 4 to 5 questions पे आ रहा है, तो approximately 6 questions पे 90 percentile रहा होगा. I am saying it today. अभी जाइए, check the quant section of CAT 2021. From that quant section, find out how many questions were easy. You will find at least 6 questions which were easy, and they will fetch you more than 90 percentile. So I do not understand why a person cannot score even 90 percentile. If you have prepared for CAT and you are not scoring even 90 percentile in QA, you are definitely doing something wrong in the exam. You are not going with a strategy. You are randomly doing questions, or you are afraid of mathematics, or you are afraid of a failure, or you are losing your confidence. There can be hundreds of other reasons, but the reason cannot be that I don't know mathematics. मुझे आता नहीं, इसलिए मेरा percentile कम आ रहा है. This cannot be the reason. I cannot accept this. मैं फिर से रिपीट कर रहा हूं, ये रिकॉर्डेड वीडियो है, घर जाके देखिए. कैट 2021 का पेपर उठाइए, क्यूए सेक्शन उठाइए, जस्ट स्टार्ट मार्किंग दैट हाउ मेनी क्वेश्चंस वर इजी. अगर 6 ना मिले तो मुझे बताना. हाँ, अनलेस एंड अनटिल यू डेफिनेटली ट्राई कि नहीं हम तो इजी किसी को मान ही नहीं रहे. इजी मींस अ क्वेश्चन व्हिच इज ऑफ लेवल 1 फ्रॉम योर बुक, राइट? लेवल 1 कह रहा हूं, लेवल 2 भी नहीं कह रहा हूं. लेवल 1 के क्वेश्चंस आपको 6 मिल जाएंगे, एंड दैट विल फेच यू 90 percentile. So just keep it in mind, all of you can score more than 90 percentile. You might be thinking कि सर सारे करेंगे तो कैसे आ जाएगा? Let me tell you, if 2 lakh people are appearing for CAT, 1,50,000 of them are not serious about CAT. 75% of them are not serious. क्योंकि एक सीरियस बच्चा क्या क्यूए में 2 क्वेश्चन नहीं कर पाता, तो क्यूए में 75 percentile 2 क्वेश्चन पे कैसे आ सकता? I don't agree with that. सो अगर आप 2-3 क्वेश्चन करने पे 75 परसेंटाइल लिया रहे, सीधा सीधा मतलब ये, दीज पीपल आर नॉट सीरियस अबाउट इट. यू हैव वेरी गुड चांसेस ऑफ स्कोरिंग समथिंग मोर देन 90. Even if you start today, even if you are at 0, still each one of you can score more than 90 percentile if you start preparing well from today. Okay, how do we do that? The last thing that I'm going to discuss, a roadmap of it. 3 months are left. August is almost gone, तो मैं assume कर रहा हूं कि अगस्त को भूल जाओ, या फिर जब मैं सितंबर कह रहा हूं तो आप ये मान के चलिए, ये सितंबर का मतलब ये है 27th of August से लेके 26th of September. अक्टूबर का मतलब ये है 27th of September से लेके 26th of October तक, और नवंबर का मतलब ये है 27th of October से लेके और 26th of November तक. उसके बाद नवंबर में जाइएगा, आपका डी डे आ जाएगा, दैट इज कैट. Write CAT on 27th of November. This is the structure according to me that each one of you should follow. In my opinion, even if you are at 0, you can score well. And if you have already prepared something, I would say this is something that each one of you should do for the September month, that is 27th August to September, because arithmetic and algebra are the most important areas. I would suggest complete all your basics. Basics must be completed. What do I mean by that? When we are teaching, students keep asking us, sir, अच्छा ये बताइए क्या मैं लॉग्स छोड़ दूं, क्या मैं बेस सिस्टम छोड़ सकता हूं, मुझे इनइक्वालिटी समझ नहीं आ रहा है, कैन आई लीव इट, और मुझसे अपस्ट्रीम डाउनस्ट्रीम नहीं होता. आई वुड से all the topics are to be done as far as the basics are concerned. कम से कम बेसिक्स तो हर चीज के कर लीजिए. You have to do the basics of each and everything, whether you understand it or not. I am saying if you are not able to understand, do not go deeper into it. Basics of everything can be understood. Read all those things, watch previous year questions and see what kind of questions do appear from these sections. ठीक है, देखिए जरा आपके पास जो है एल्जेब्रा में, अर्थमेटिक में कितने क्वेश्चंस आते हैं, उन क्वेश्चंस पे नजर डालिए पुराने सालों के पेपर पे. And when you look at those questions, you will get an idea, okay, these are the kind of questions. I am already prepared for these questions probably. Not only this will prepare you, but will also give you a confidence that you know a lot of things. So doing previous year papers would always help you that ways. You should always try doing it. So the first month, in my opinion, should be kept for arithmetic and algebra. I repeat, what do we mean by doing arithmetic and algebra, completing it? That means you read all the basics, right? Areas which you are not able to understand, do the basics, do level 1 questions, leave them. Areas which you are able to understand, go deeper into them and do level 1, level 2 questions. And if you are good enough, I would say do level 3 questions as well. Ab yahan pe, of course, I cannot give a generic approach of this because there is a person who is currently at 60 percentile. There is a person who is currently getting 80, 85. There is a person who is already getting 95, 96. For all of them, there would be a different approach. 60 वाला ये सोच रहा हूँ किसी तरह मेरे टॉपिक्स कवर हो जाए, I should be able to cover the basics. 85 वाला सोच रहा है कि नहीं नहीं मैं लेवल 2 तक के कम से कम इजी तो मैं कर ही पा रहा हूँ, I should be able to do the moderate questions as well. और जिसका 95 96 आ रहा है वो सोच रहा है कि नहीं नहीं इस टॉपिक I should not be leaving a question, I should be able to do each and everything from all the areas even if it's a level 3 question. So there are different approaches for those. Similarly, when you move on to October, you have to complete your geometry, number system and modern mathematics, but keep practicing arithmetic and algebra. I repeat, these are extremely important for us. हमारा टोटल का तकरीबन 70% पेपर तो अर्थमेटिक अलजेब्रा का है. So how can we leave them? So you have completed the basics over here, but keep practicing them over here, and this is the time to make a strategy for QA section, right? अक्टूबर में आके आप हर बार स्ट्रेटजी चेंज करेंगे. whenever you write a mock, you try some different strategy. अब के बार ये करके देखता हूँ, अब के बार ये करके देखता हूँ, अब के बार ये, and see which one suits you, right? That is the best time of changing strategies. Sometimes you start with the you do questions in some rounds. That first I'll do all those questions which are from my comfort area, then I'll do the others. Sometimes you do it this way, that first I'll do all the easier questions and then I'll move on to the others. Sometimes you just first mark, you don't solve, you try to do that. Sometimes you just keep doing all the questions that come your way. So what strategy is going to suit you, that's completely up to you. This is the time to make that strategy. And when you move to the November area, right? So now you are in the CAT month. When you are in the CAT month, by that time, of course, the concept should have been completed. Write sectional tests, if possible, 2 a day, right? If possible, 2 a day. And no concept should be left. I would repeat that again and again. You will not leave any concept. You never know on which concept they are going to ask questions. Basics of every concept should be completed and finalize the strategy at this time. Whatever strategies you have made in October, right? You have tried different strategies. उसके बाद जब आप नवंबर में आ जाते हैं, whichever strategy you have finalized, work with that now only. अब उस टाइम पे आपको चेंज नहीं करनी है. 4-5 मॉक लिखोगे, हर मॉक में वर्क विद दैट स्ट्रेटजी एंड देन फाइनली सी दैट ओके, दिस इज द फाइनल स्ट्रेटजी दैट सूट्स मी एंड आई एम गोइंग टू गो अहेड with this strategy. So this is the approach according to me that you should adopt. Okay, if any one of you is having any questions, so please come up with your questions in the chat box. You are most welcome. I would be happy to take all your questions, but this is something that I feel that you should do in QA So first, arithmetic and algebra should be completed. See previous year papers, get an idea what kind of questions do appear. Next month, keep practicing arithmetic algebra, but along with that, complete geometry and number system as well, and start making strategy for QA. And in the last month, just cement your strategy. No concept should be left. Do each and everything, and do at least 30 sectional tests if possible. I would say do 2 sectional tests per day. This is, as per me, a good roadmap for the coming 90 days. Okay, that's all from my side, guys. For anyone who is appearing for CAT 2022, as I just said, the last batch we have recently floated. So it just started. I took the first class yesterday. So anyone who want to join, they may, join the new batch. And please do press the like button, comment on it, and share it with your other friends as well. Subscribe to BYJU'S exam prep channel. People who were asking VAR CLR के बारे में, so we'll keep having such sessions. Just subscribe to it. We are also there on all these media handles. And that's all from my side, guys. Thank you very much. We'll meet soon with the next session. Till then, bye bye, and take care, all of you. Have a good day. Bye.